Get the buffet tables ready, folks, because today we'll continue enduring It Gets So Lonely here, because this is fucking stupid as all fuck. We're here. Oh my god. Well, of course, it has a church. The villagers who once dwelt here were not godless heathens. Not that their fate did them all that much good in the end. The fuck? What's your problem, bro? Are you one of them atheist bros? Still, the side of the church soothes your overtaxed heart. Overtaxed? I'm still paying taxes, even though I'm being hunted by a fucking stalker. Bitch, whatever. You were so focused on your fantasies of a kindly washerwoman taking you in, you did not pause to entertain the fancy of a kindly nun doing much the same. Is it because we grew up Catholic and we had very un-Catholic upbringings? All hope is not lost. You approach the church, which seems to tower over you despite it being so humble. The church is a small one, but it is stout and sturdy. It must be, for it has withstood centuries, forever standing sentinel on this hill like a relic from a bygone era. The church does not have stained glass windows, but it does not need them. Even without more luxurious trappings, the church still exudes an aura of dignified solemnity, whatever. The stone building is fringed by a sizable graveyard, one which occupies the rest of the hilltop and some of its sloping sides. God, let me just catch my breath. The graves, which have been planted by generations of wardens, are hewn from a similar stone to that which the church's walls are made of. Some of the gravestones are shaped like how the fuck do you pronounce that? While others are shaped like crosses. Lozenges? What the fuck is that word? A handful of headstones are even shaped like angels, though these are few and far between. There are very few people in a village such as this one who can afford such luxurious final resting places. And you look at the tombstones with an almost childlike curiosity, forgetting in your examination of the visceral heart-rending? Is it supposed to be heart-rendering? But I guess I'm not the literature major here. Correct me because I'm wrong. Fear which gripped you as you ran through the forest. You are out of the woods now, and you have subconsciously already begun to relax. You try to read the names hewn again, we use the word hewn, into the myriad tombstones, but it is dark and you are tired. And some of these graves are very, very old indeed. Why are we doing this? What kind of time-passing activity is this? You strain your eyes, but you do not have much luck in this endeavor. Why are we doing this? Oh well, what the fuck did we do this for? Such superfluous details in our report. Then why the fuck did we do it? Why the fuck did we mention it? You eventually tire of examining the graves and turn. God, it's so dumb. This graveyard is an expansive one. Unusually so, given the village itself is so small. How can it boast so many corpses? And there is much to explore. Is this Diablo, the first game? You walk about the perimeter of the church, casting your gaze first here, then everywhere. Is this a fucking Dr. Seuss book? Consumed as you are by your immense, all-encompassing curiosity. Your curiosity that's fucking killed us, you stupid idiot cunt. And as you do, you see her. Who the oh, look at that. Finally, a normal person. She looks like an ordinary girl, small and scrawny, just like yourself, but she is much, much more than her unremarkable appearance might suggest. Yeah, okay, here we go again, criticizing physical features. The fucking mermaid from before. We were constantly praising her fucking beauty, her fucking physical appearances, and now we got her, this graveyard digger or whatever. Is like, yeah, you don't look that remarkable. What the fuck? I hate our fucking protagonist for For some moments you'll observe her hiding all the while in the shadow cast by the church, like a furtive lizard clinging against a rocky edifice to shroud itself from the sun. God, this fucking writing is pretentious. It's so annoying. Since it insists upon itself. It's so fucking try to sound so fucking smart. It's annoying, honestly. There is no sunlight here though. No shit? You think there could be fucking sunlight in the middle of the fucking night? Are you fucking stupid? There's only the night sky. No shit. And the stars in the wood. No fucking shit. Really? You think? It's fucking dumb. Beneath the moon's light, a silvery implement the girl is clutching shimmers. It takes you a few moments to see what it is that the girl is clutching in her hands. It is not until you see her manipulate it, its sharp edge biting into the earth, that you understand. You mean a fucking shovel? It is a shovel. Shove it up your ass. This girl is standing in an isolated corner of the churchyard late at night, and she is digging a grave. Well, I suppose you could always be digging a hole for the sake of it. Why would anybody fucking do that in the middle of the fucking night? But our work seems too precise for this to be the result of mere whimsy. No shit! You think I can't observe this fucking activity? Why is it so fucking dumb? God, the writing is fucking retarded. What the fuck? What is this cunt writing? What is this garbage raccoon writing? There you go. Because raccoons always go for the dumpster dive. It is hard for you to see her face, given the distance between the pair of you, but her posture is one that speaks of supreme concentration. She moves slowly, mechanically, like a woman on a mission, driving the end of her shovel into the earth over and over. Mission impossible, stop being pretentious. Her emotions are regular enough to be repetitive. There's something hypnotic almost in the manner in which she attends this task. She's a professional. Should you risk interrupting her? Do you dare? You get the feeling that she would not appreciate it. The shovel in her hands, meanwhile, is rather hefty. If she wished it, she could cause you no small amount of damage with it. Cold anxiety makes your skin prickle. This writing makes me want to kill myself. You do not know if you should risk speaking to her when she, in her dark cloak with her shovel, looks so very strange. But what do you have left to lose? My life? You have come this far. It would be folly to turn back now. It is with this thought in your mind that you decide to approach the strange girl. Your footsteps are quiet. You have grown accustomed to slinking around like a cat, but they are not quite enough. The girl's senses must be finely tuned because she blinks. Then she turns. Your eyes meet, and once they do, you feel your breath catching your throat. You did not have a clear view of the girl before, concealed as you were in the shadows, but now she's looking at you. You can tell that she is pretty. Her skin is very smooth, and her hair, though obscured by a dark hood, is very fair. Her eyes, meanwhile, are a clear, cool blue like ice. Those eyes of hers, which are large with unease, are fringed with very long, fair eyelashes. She looks as though she has stepped out of the pages of a picture book. Plot twist, this is a picture book, but we got stuck here because some magic happened or something. She is simply too perfect to belong to this world. Perhaps she is some kind of vision, a waking dream, a hallucination, a fucking retarded writing. But no, she is none of those things. The shovel she is clutching in her hands looks solid enough, its pointed tip glittering wickedly in the moonlight. You steel yourself, expecting perhaps some sort of outburst. But the tension soon drains from the girl's slender shoulders. Her fingers, which once were gripping the handle of her shovel, tightly relax. Her lips curve upwards at the edges. She is smiling, and what a smile it is! It is transformative. When she smiles, she looks radiant, angelic almost. Hers is a smile that is so suffused with light that your eyes begin to prickle from it. You are so relieved, you almost feel as if you could cry. Why the fuck? It would not be the first time you have wept during this night, and neither would it be too surprising if you did. You have been through a lot. Man, can we just see the story of what she's been through before being here or something? That would make... I feel like that would be much more interesting than whatever the fuck this is. You must be exhausted. Yes, I am very much exhausted reading this piece of shit. The girl holding the shovel seems to realize this because she bridges the distance between you cautiously, as one might approach a skittish cat. Then she says in a rough voice which does not match her dainty appearance, "Well, she does live in a rural village. What were you expecting? We are a judgmental piece of shit." Ah, it's so good to see another person. I was afraid I was the only person left alive, the only one in the whole world. Now, this is quite the effusive greeting. Her introductory speech is riddled with exclamation marks. This is not the farm girl that the mermaid mentioned before, I think, because, well, she's not a farm girl. She's a graveyard digger. She is far more personable than her apparel would make one suggest. You, a well-bred young lady, can't help but feel overwhelmed. It is your turn now to be on your guard. Anxiously, you observe the girl with the shovel and you ask her what she means. What happened? Oh, do you not know? There's an awful lot you do not know. That is a 100% fact of the world. So much, in fact, it would fill the whole encyclopedia. Not just an encyclopedia. Fucking your knowledge of not knowing anything spans solar systems. No, a whole library. Shut up. You shake your head, ashamed at your ignorance, and the girl frowns. You mustn't be from around these parts. I guess I should have known. This village is small one and everybody knows everybody else. The girl's expression falls. At least they used to. Back when this was still people to know. That ain't the case now, though. Not after the plague. There was a plague? That would certainly explain why the village, when you walked through it, was so quiet. Did everybody else succumb to this mysterious illness? That's right, it's just me here now. I've not seen another human being in a long time. It gets so lonely here. She said the name of the game again. 10 over 10 game. Now that is an interesting turn of phrase. It catches inside your head like a burr. Have you heard it before? You don't have much time to ponder this, however, because the girl takes a step towards you, about to hit my face with a shovel because I am fucking dumb. They want to preserve my body because they're lonely and whatever. I think I know what's gonna happen here. Oh, but where are my manners? They must have gone rusty after being on my own for so long. My apologies, miss. You look like you've come a long way. You said you were a traveler, yes? And your hands are very cold, just like ice. You're on ice. I hate that. Would you like to come inside? Maybe have something warm to eat and to drink. My home's small, I'm afraid, and my food ain't nothing fancy, but I'd be more than willing to share. It's not every day another girl stops by, especially not one as pretty as yourself. I'm feeling very blessed. Hashtag very blessed. The girl laughs a carefree, airy sort of laugh, which does not match your initial impression of her. You thought when you saw her among the graves that she would be more distant somehow, and more mysterious. Perhaps you are mixing her up with somebody else. You are still unsure if you can trust this girl, but her invitation is an appealing one. It is much more appealing, certainly, than spending the night outdoors in the cold, kipping on the graves. I don't know. What are you, a romantic poet? Yeah, what the fuck is this pretentious fucking structure of sentences? This stitched up word vomit, like... Please. You make a show of pondering the girl's invitation at the very least. You do not want to appear too eager, even though we are fucking desperate for survival, but your acquiescence is, alas, an inevitability. Why would you ever refuse her? I mean, there's no reason to not refuse her. She is the first friendly face you have seen all night, even though we've seen a fucking mermaid, but sure. Without her, you would be all alone, I know. Sheesh. Let me just quickly save. Oh wait, I can't. So only 6 save slots. This. I'm gonna quickly save here, and then I gotta do something quick, like I don't know, take a shit or whatever. I just need a quick break from this fucking pretentious. My head hurts from reading this shit. Okay, I'm back. Okay, where were we? Your hostess leads you to a small, humble home located but a stone's throw away from the church, built in the shadows of a twisted, towering sycamore. The girl's home is in such a state it seems a folly to even call it a home. Shut the fuck up. We are a guest here. Stop thinking about rude shit. Hovel would, to you, be the more appropriate descriptor. What in the fuck is a hovel? But when your hostess leads you inside, her eyes alive, and she says, "Here we are, home sweet home." You don't have the heart to tell her that you don't find her home very homey or very sweet. Go fuck yourself, you stupid cunt. You're the guest here. You're the one in need of shit, and you're like, your home sucks. Go fuck yourself. That would be incredibly rude. No shit? Really? You think? As a guest, you ought to be more appreciative. Yes, you should. Shut the fuck up. Half-heartedly, you look around your newfound surroundings. The ceiling is supported by wooden joists and is perilously low. Not so much so that you are in danger of bumping your head, but just enough to feel claustrophobic. There is a fire in the corner, though it is not consigned to a grate. The fire instead is blazing in the open, a circle of logs set alight, like a scene from a witch's kitchen. Ooh. Plot twist, she is a witch. Above the fire hangs a silvery pot suspended from one of the wooden eaves. Other objects of interest are hung from the eaves. Iron implements you take to be cooking utensils, the various herbs and strips of meat left to cure. The smell of cooking fills the air, mingled with the sharp, sour scent of unwashed bodies. How, you wonder, does your hostess clean herself? You do not see a bathtub anywhere. Uh-oh. Perhaps she does not possess one. The girl's home is unremarkable in every regard, but it is, you suppose, better than nothing. How about we get kicked out of the fucking house and go search for something better, because it does not suit our fucking standard because we are a spoiled rich princess cunt or whatever. What the fuck? Ungrateful son of a bitch. At least there is a roof over your head and food to put in your belly. The girl looks at the pot suspended over the fire, which gives a stir with a ladle. Fuck. As she brings the ladle to her lips to taste whatever concoction she has brewing within it. You could only hope that she is not like the weird sisters from that famous play brewing a broth with a fenny snake fillets. Yes, I think this is just about done, the girl says to nobody in particular. Just the ladle down, back into the pot, then looks to you and smiles. Do you want something? It looks as though you've come quite a long way, and you must be hungry. Those words are like music to your ears, even more divine than the trumpets of God's most loyal angels. You are so hungry, you could eat a horse. Not that there are any horses in the immediate vicinity. No shit, is this your attempt of being fucking funny? Because ha, ha, ha. You express your interest to your hostess, who smiles in response. I thought you'd like the sound of that, hee. Just give me a few moments. Your hostess retrieves 2 earthenware bowls from a cupboard with rickety hinges, into which she pours 2 hefty helpings of whatever it is she's cooking. It'd be funny if she's cooking dead bodies and shit. The main ingredients are human body parts. This she serves with bread, which is so hefty it could be used as a murder weapon. Are we gonna use the bread as a protection device? It is not much, I'm afraid. It is only soup and bread. It should take the edge off your appetite, though. You thank your hostess for her hospitality, your stomach rumbling all the while. The soup does not look like anything you would typically consume, because why the fuck would you spoiled rich cunt? But the soup's poor presentation does not dissuade you. It is true enough that people eat first with their eyes, but when one is hungry enough, one becomes obliging enough to eat almost anything. No shit. Why else do you think that people, when stranded upon desert islands, will resort to cannibalism? What the Fun fact, fellas, when stranded upon a desert island, people will resort to cannibalism. Okay. Okay. Humans are creatures of necessity. And whatever this is fucking... Let's drop random factoids. You like to ramp yourself up in pretensions, but in actuality, you are not much better than animals. You are so hungry, your stomach is achingly empty that you certainly descend upon your food like an animal. Your teeth glint, your incisors gleam, and soon you have consumed all that your hostess has offered you. Jesus, man. Your hostess watches while you eat, and she giggles once you have finished because she wants to fatten us up, and then she will be the one to eat us. Did you enjoy that? Is the soup laced with sleeping ingredients or something? Oh, you catch your hostess' gaze, suddenly abashed. You are so hungry you fail to account for her judgment. Now you have some food in your belly, though, and you have been suitably warmed. Your old self-consciousness is returning. Did you not make a fool out of yourself? You demur shyly, looking at your lap, fearful all the while of what your hostess might think of you. You do not want her to take against you. Unfortunately for you, however, and for your fragile ego, your hostess is not the judgmental sort, just the murdering sort. She's not like the girls you grew up with. Well, no shit, because she's from a different fucking village. Of course, she's not the same girl she grew up with. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It is nice to see my food being appreciated so heartily. Is the main ingredient of this soup hearts? Human hearts? I know I'm not the best, but I've been practicing for a long while. I used to cook for my father all the time, you see. This remark catches your attention. Quizzically, you look at your hostess, your abashment over your animalistic eating habits suspended. What happened to her father? It seems a grim thing to contemplate after having eaten, but didn't your hostess mention something about a plague? Yes, your hostess says, her voice soft, now and serious. That's right. There was a plague. And what of the villagers? What of her father? They're all gone now. Gone? Yes, you see. Her hostess rearranges herself upon her chair, one slender leg folded over the other. Then she begins her tale in earnest. My family has a history. We've lived there for centuries by the church, so's we can tend to the graveyard. So's? So, is that an accent or something? So's? S-O''S, whatever. Ah, so this abode is centuries old then. It would certainly explain the dirt. My father used to prepare bodies for burial back when he was alive. He built the coffins, and he dug the graves, and he lowered the coffins into the dirt. I know it might sound like an awful job, but somebody's gotta do it. Better this than having your bodies rot all over the place. There's no sense of averting our eyes from death, not when it happens to the best of us. It is a noble profession, one that's been handed down in our family for generations. Looks like this is the last generation, am I right? My father's father was a grave digger, and so was my father's father, and my father's father, water, blah blah blah. Digging graves is in our blood, and it's a dirty blood. It's who we are. My. That was a surprisingly pretty speech coming from a girl who lives in the countryside, a girl who is without much in the way of education. It is apparent just to listen to her and the way she slurs her syllables together That she has never had any elocution lessons, not like you. There is a determination, however, to her, and a pride in her genealogy which gives her a respectable aura. You cannot help but be impressed. So yes, your hostess, does that make her one in a long line of grave diggers? Yes, your hostess, the grave digger says. That's about right, though I was never supposed to be a grave digger myself. It's not a woman's profession, that's what everybody says. My father did not mind that though. He taught me everything he knew and then some. I might be a woman, but I've plenty of upper body strength. I can dig a grave just as well as my father could, without breaking a sweat. To the despair of my mother up in heaven, I'm sure. I'm sure if she were still alive, she'd rather focus more on feminine pursuits like basket weaving or sewing to better attract a suitor. Not that would do much good now, ho ho ho. There's nobody around who'd court me, not for miles and miles. And what happened to her mother? She died when I was very young during childbirth. I was only 5 years old. Oh, well, you can relate to her, at least upon this point. Your parents are not dead, at least, not as far as you are aware, but you have not seen them in an awfully long time. They sent you away as soon as you were old enough, and they never once bothered to check up on you. For many years, there have been no letters nor any visits. You offer the grave digger your condolences. You do not know if they will help, but you feel like you cannot say nothing. You cannot say nothing? That would seem heartless. The grave digger, however, does not seem too upset by this turn of events because she smiles, albeit somberly. Let me just take a sip of my coffee. It's alright, it was ages ago. I don't remember her too well, and I've never really had the luxury of sitting around feeling sorry for myself. I had too much work to do. Around the house, you ask? That too, I was the oldest child, so it's my job after my mother died to manage the sweeping and the cooking, and looking after all of my siblings too, but they're dead now, so what a waste. You blink, intrigued, and glance about your host's humble lodgings. You don't see any siblings in the immediate vicinity. Where could they be? The grave digger must have noticed you roving eyes. You are not being exactly subtle because we are fucking stupid, because she shakes her head. I had siblings, 2 younger brothers. They're both gone now. Oh, you should've known because you're fucking stupid. You apologize to the gravedigger for your lack of tact, but she does not seem upset by this. I forgot how it's pronounced, folks pass, whatever. Don't apologize, it's not your fault. My brothers weren't long for this world anyway. The youngest he died when he was still a baby, and the oldest he died before he reached double digits. I was upset about it all the time, of course, but I've come to terms with it. Life's a fleeting thing in this wicked old world. That's something you learn in this trade. Digging graves, I mean. I've dug graves for the elderly and the infirm, but I've also dug graves for young babies, still in their swaddling clothes. That's the nature of death. It comes for all of us in the end. No matter how old we are, no matter how much money we have, no matter how good or bad we've been. It's the great equalizer. Or so I've heard. You heard shit. A chill creeps down your spine as you listen to your hostess's speech. She is not wrong, but the inherent mortality of all humankind is not something you wish to contemplate. It is too disturbing. For the longest of times, my family was a small one. It was just my father and me, but that was fine. It was how I liked it. I was very happy, even if our lives weren't the best. I've never had any fancy clothes to wear. I can't diet on the finest of foods. In the grand scheme of things, we ain't anything that special. But I've always felt otherwise. I thought I was blessed. We knew hardships, of course, and famine. But that's just the way life is around here. When food supplies were low, we always helped one another out. I had my father eat. I ate my father. But I also had the rest of the village. We all looked after one another, and things always worked out in the end. At least they did. Until the plague happened. Yeah, she had mentioned the plague. How many times has she mentioned the plague? And how many times are we gonna bring up that, yeah, she did mention a thing? No shit? Fucking really? You had been wondering when she was going to return to that topic. You suppose that the plague is the reason that the villages you traversed it was so very empty? Didn't she just fucking say that the whole village is fucking dead because of the fucking plague? And you're like, is this plague the reason that the village you traversed it was so very— No fucking shit, you stupid idiot! You're supposed right, the plague tore through the village. I don't remember when. It feels like it was a while ago, but maybe it wasn't all that long after all. Feels like I've been on my own for centuries, but— Hostess's eyes begin to cloud over. She looks as though she is entrenched within her own memories. What could she be remembering? She's remembering shit. I fucking hate this visual novel. So this is, It Gets So Lonely. If you want to try the game for yourself, the link is in the description. I'm going away now. Go away.